Hello everybody and welcome back to the Outside Film Podcast, where we talk films and TV and other things from nerd culture. I'm putting my foot down. We need to come up with a proper intro.
Welcome to Nerd TV. I don't know, like a theme or something.
You just have a seizure.
Seizure?
You just had a seizure.
John has a seizure.
John, yeah. Outside Film Podcast, episode 12. John has a seizure.
Oh no!
My name is Tom, and as always, I'm joined with my co-host John.
Hello there.
How are you today on this fine,
great.
wet morning?
Just can't wait to talk about our main segment today.
Oh boy, do we have things to talk about. As always, there are time codes in the description below. I feel like the last few weeks were quite, slow news weeks, but we've got quite a lot to talk about this week.
But this one's actually jam-packed now, isn't
Yes,
it?
we got stuff to talk about. We got, we got news, we got Mandalorian to talk about, and then we're going to be talking about the original Star Wars Holiday Special in preparation to watch the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, which we will be talking about next week.
Yes.
So, without further ado, let's get into it. John, are you familiar with Vin Diesel of Fast and Furious fame?
Yes, of course. Of course we are familiar with Vin Diesel in the Fast and Furious movies. Like that one famous line, "I'm not running."
I'm not running. He's iconic. But to a lesser extent, are you familiar with Bloodshot, the greatest film to ever come out in 2020?
Well, I haven't seen it, but I know what it's like, so, yeah.
Well, strap in, because it's getting a sequel.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh.
Bloodshot 2 is happening. Vin Diesel is coming back to grace our screens once more. Original film, the greatest film studio ever, who gave us Fast and Furious, are back to do Bloodshot 2.
Yes.
Why we will never know, but it's happening.
We all know, Tom. Money. It's
Money?
The reason.
I like money. Money's good. Yep. Yeah, I get that.
It brings us food. So, yeah.
Good, we like food. Put the bread on the table. Okay, so last week there was the news about Fantastic Beasts 3, which has been delayed. But now it has an official release date of July 15th, 2022, which makes it pretty much about 3.5 years since Crimes of Grindelwald came. So,
Dang.
that is definitely,
time.
Yeah, it really is. But, what can you do? On a similar front, there is also rumours, pretty much confirmed at this point, that Mads Mikkelsen, as well. First of all, I should say this is casting news, John. We've had a couple of weeks off, but this is casting news.
So we need more casting news.
So Mads Mikkelsen, who you will know as Caecilius in Doctor Strange, Lashif in Casino Royale, and Galen Erso in Rogue One. He also played Hannibal Lecter in the TV show Hannibal. He is reported to be taking over the role of Grindelwald from Johnny Depp in the subsequent Fantastic Beasts films. And I think that's quite cool. Mads Mikkelsen is Danish, and
I think he would fit into the role.
Yeah, Grindelwald is Swedish, I think, so it's better than an American playing a Swedish role. It's more close to home. And I think Mads Mikkelsen's great at playing villains. I haven't seen Hannibal, but he's good in Doctor Strange, he's good in Casino Royale.
Yeah, you can play different villains very well, differently. So I hope he'll fit into it and see what's different.
I agree. This is going to be a very much it's very similar to Dumbledore,
Yes.
Because Dumbledore,
Yes.
from Prisoner of Azkaban onwards, was played by Michael Gambon instead of Richard Harris. So, it's interesting that there's that kind of parallel there. Not obviously exactly, because Richard Harris did unfortunately pass away, but still, I guess only time will tell. Okay, so we've got casting news. A big old good meaty bit of casting news here. Peacemaker, the TV show spin-off of my brain, help me. Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad. So the TV show spin-off, which is centering around John Cena's character of Peacemaker, has cast 4 roles. So we've got Jennifer Holland, who is going to play Amelia Harcourt, who's coming back from the Suicide Squad. So immediately you've got some characters from Suicide Squad, and then Robert Patrick is going to be in it as Augie Smith. You will know Robert Patrick as the T-1000 in Terminator 2.
Yes.
Chris Conrad will be playing Vigilante, or Prometheus, who some people might know from Arrow Season 5. And then Danielle Brooks has been cast in an unknown role.
Ah!
Yes. I think that's cool.
Yeah. That's big, meaty casting news. That's the
Very
only
neat.
casting news I'll accept.
Yeah, you just wait. Okay.
No, there's more, isn't it?
Not yet. We got our release date for WandaVision, and it's actually despite Disney Plus saying that it was going to come out this year, it's actually coming out on the 15th of January 2021, which means that 2020 is the first year since 2009 without any MCU content. I mean, that the only thing that there is that you could consider is the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Other than that, this is a year without any of it.
True.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing about Disney was that they were saying it was coming out in December.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have no idea what the plan is.
Maybe the filming isn't going quite as planned.
Yes.
Yeah.
January is going to be the month when we're going to be talking about WandaVision. If you want to know or love Marvel about it, we're going to talk about it, really.
We are. That will be our 21st episode of the podcast when we do our first episode on that.
Wow.
Yeah. So, quite intense.
Intensity.
So much intensity. I'm still fairly excited for WandaVision. The trailer was cool. It's interesting new ground, and we've had a year off the MCU. Well, it would have been nearly like a year and a half.
Yeah.
So I'll take it.
Relaxing.
Exactly.
Chilling.
Exactly.
Yeah. Enjoying life.
Well, I mean, I can't say that we're enjoying life, but we definitely do have tea and crumpets here in England.
Yes, we love to eat them. Oh.
How is it that you're British and you can't do a British accent?
I don't know. It's a curse.
It is a
curse. I've been watching too many movies, and all the accents are in my head, and I somehow just try and change them, and not change it to British, but that's try.
British, yes, very nice. Okay, so some news about Doctor Who season 13. Now I know that you haven't watched Doctor Who in quite a while. You kind of fell off the boat since, fell off the horse, as it were, since Peter Capaldi left. I don't blame you. If anyone wants to know my quick thoughts on Doctor Who seasons 11 and 12, that's pretty much my quick thoughts.
Wait, season 11 and 12.
They're shit. But season 13 is going to have 8 episodes this year instead of the regular 10 or 11, which...
Really?
I see as a good thing because it gives Chris Chibnall, the showrunner for the show, it gives him less. The showrunner. It gives him
power.
Well, no, it gives him less power. I'd say.
I'm joking, man.
I wish he didn't have any power. God damn it. He's ruined everything. I'm sure maybe when Doctor Who season 13 event comes out, we'll talk about it on the pod.
Yeah,
but
I hope it's just, has that same Doctor Who feel. Like that wonder, that, excitement, like the huge monologues that Doctor Who, but no, it's just...
It really doesn't. They've really lost a lot of what made the first seasons of the reboot so good.
Which gave it like a strong introduction to the Doctor or something. But instead, it just went, "Hey, I'm I'm the 13th Doctor, and I'm this. Yeah.
Exactly. That's actually in the script. You know, that's a John memorized the script for that bit. So you know.
Thank you. You know, I'm huge, very dramatic person, and I like to read out scripts from time to time. And fun fact, I read out a script. Where was it? I have no idea. I'm talking nonsense, but anyway, yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. You're always talking nonsense. John, do you know have you ever heard of a man named Keanu Reeves?
Keanu?
Well,
of course I do. I have him on the wall.
That's true. You do have Keanu Reeves, famous actor, tied up in the wall. It's fine. So, one of his lesser-known roles is that of John Constantine for the DC film in 2005, I want to say. But it has been confirmed by Peter Stormare, who played Satan in Constantine. He has confirmed that Constantine is indeed getting a sequel, which is indeed in the works right now.
That's great.
I mean...
yeah, because think about it today. DC has, improved a lot, in terms of like different directors, like different stories, and they're working with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
And even though I haven't seen the John Constantine film, is it good? I mean,
no, it's not good. See, on one hand, I'm glad that DC is trying new things and it isn't ignoring the fact that they've made really bad films in the past.
Yeah.
However, it wasn't great, and I don't really care about a sequel, but I'll take it. You could get into some multiverse stuff. I'd like to see the movie Constantine and the TV show Constantine crossover. That would be fun.
Yeah. And that comic that I got you for Christmas last year called
Batman Damned. Yes, that has Constantine in it.
Yeah, and Batman as well. That could be like an interesting mix to see in future films. But
I agree. Yeah, that's a good point. I think you can have some fun with Constantine interacting with the other heroes of the universe. Speaking of heroes, we got some casting news, John. As your favourite segment, of course. This is confirmation. This is kind of something that everyone already knew, but it is now confirmed that Chris Pratt is going to be in Thor for Love and Thunder, which seemingly confirms that the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be in the film. As to what role they will play, that is still up in the air. I don't know, maybe, because obviously Thor, when we last saw him, was with the Guardians, so perhaps this means that, he's going to be looking for Gamora with them, or, looking for himself, trying to find a sense of renewed purpose or something. Who knows? Who knows? What do you think?
I mean, we're getting a lot of casting news rather than Marvel news, because they're just milking it now. They're like, and Black Widow and Hawkeye, what happened in Budapest? You will find out in the movie. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah, I agree. They seem to be throwing everything in there. Who knows whether it'll work out for them? We've had many a Disney live action remake. Most recently, we had Lady and the Tramp, we had The Lion King, we had Aladdin, we had Dumbo, all last year. But now we're going to be getting.
Them are terrible.
Yeah, they're not great. But now we're getting a live action Lilo and Stitch. Because nothing is sacred.
When I heard about this, I was just in pain, literally, because I love Lilo and Stitch. The animated, it's just so good.
Yeah, the original is great. I agree.
Yeah, but now they're gonna ruin it with a live action because it's gonna be CGI and everything. Just leave it alone, Disney. You can't recreate things.
As you can tell, you're gonna explode. Literally. Disney, don't make this film, otherwise John will explode and level a city.
I'll I'll give the movie 0 out of 10. I don't know. I can't wait that now because that's a bit.
Yeah, that's preemptive. But yeah, I mean, it is technically our fault, the public, for giving money to these things. So, what am I saying? Oh, there's Mulan as well. Mulan becomes available on Disney Plus very, very soon. So we're gonna watch that for the pod. Are you excited?
No.
Oh, I know you're excited. I can hear it in your voice. Let's talk final piece of news now. Obviously, it's some casting news. Woo! Yeah.
Why did this happen?
We have Sylvester Stallone. Obviously, the guy who played Rocky and Rambo, he is going to be in the Suicide Squad. James Gunn himself has confirmed that, they previously worked together in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 back in 2017, and now Sylvester Stallone is going to be in the Suicide Squad in an unnamed role. So, yeah.
Oh, I thought they finished filming, back last year, maybe.
No,
maybe
I think
filmed in with him.
Yeah, I think they have finished filming. I just don't think they said anything about him. Who knows?
Yeah,
maybe he's
to keep it a secret.
Maybe he'll be the voice of King Shark or something. Or he's the villain. That there's places to go there.
Yeah, I mean, you got King Shark, who is unfortunately a shark.
Is that really unfortunately, or is he blessed to be a shark?
Who wouldn't be like to be a shark? Someone who can enjoy the sea and just be a shark. But anyway, yeah, Sylvester Stallone. That's great.
Yeah, I really, really like him as an actor. Rocky is probably Rocky is a perfect franchise. One of the few. It doesn't have many weak points, and even the weak points have some relevance. So yeah, they're great, and I'd love to see him work with James Gunn more. Okay, so that's the news. Let's talk about the Mandalorian. Oh boy, I have so much to say, and
we are gonna be in the zone. Okay.
Yeah, spoilers. Because this is, how can you get around this episode of The Mandalorian without spoilers? I don't even know.
Yes, and if you haven't seen the Clone Wars or Rebels, like I am, I haven't seen them, but I'm an idiot. But
yeah,
anyway,
this episode is exactly what I expected from the eventual kind of crossover with the Clone Wars. The episode starts with so this episode's direct.
I was thinking this as well. I know what you're gonna say. It starts off with the ship is gonna fall down onto the planet.
Yes,
but it's exactly like Apollo 13.
Yes, this episode was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. Who is the daughter of Ron Howard, who made not only Solo, so there's a Star Wars connection, but he also directed Apollo 13, and the way that the Razor Crest crash lands to the planet is very, very reminiscent of Apollo 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really, really cool.
Yeah, that was a great...
it was a fun little sequence. So the Mandalorian goes to... he gets someone to fix the ship, and he goes, and the frog lady meets her frogman, so Barbara.
Yeah, let me tell you, that moment was...
That was so sweet.
No,
it was a cute moment. I was like, you know what, that was a good payoff. And then he finds some Quarren who say that they're gonna help him find the Mandalorian he's looking for. Mandalorians, should I say. And
then he goes onto the ship. And
yes,
he's like, what a great boat.
Yeah, it's a fishing ship.
Fishing trip. The fishing trip, and then the Quarren just goes, "Hey, would you like the child to see this fish?"
Yeah.
So, then he goes, "Oh, cool. Yeah, let's get up close.
Let's have some first-hand experience." It's a trap.
Anyone would know that because that's a great line. Anyway.
That's a Star Wars classic.
By other Mandalorian.
Yeah, so I just want to say, when they hit the child into the water and he got eaten by a giant slug, Oh my god, that was intense.
Yeah, I was just like, no!
Mandalorian dives in after it, and then they're like, they're drowning him. It was really, really intense. It's interesting to see that the armor is really, really valuable, and loads of people want that armor. Which is quite interesting.
As well. And then what I just said, like the Mandalorian came, they saved.
3 Mandalorians came,
and then we got a huge reveal that these Mandalorians are from the Clone Wars.
They are, yes. Now this is spoilers for the Clone Wars, I guess, kind of. This is the main character. The main Mandalorian is called Bo-Katan, and she is in the Clone Wars. She is in Rebels, played by the same actress who did the voice. So that's really, really cool.
It's just how they recreated it. That same haircut.
They did the haircut. They did the helmet. They did the armor perfectly. And she comes in and. Oh, it was so satisfying for me as a huge fan of the Clone Wars. But what's interesting about it is, they immediately take off their helmets, and the Mandalorians are like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was just like, when they're taking their helmets off, we watched the first 2 seasons, and then we just got so we knew that we don't want to take the Mandalorian's helmet off because we don't know the religion or something.
Right.
So
see, this is another thing.
It's kind of different to see the different religious.
Yeah, because they say that he is a religious part of a religious extremist group, the Watch. And what's interesting about this is that actually, in the Clone Wars and Rebels, they do take their helmets off. So from the beginning of Mandalorian Season 1, people who watch the Clone Wars are like, hey, hold up a second, why are these guys, what are you doing? So it's cool that they confirmed that. And I think that this season will probably build, or maybe just the show in general, will probably build to Din taking off his helmet. Renouncing those ways, Some people have speculated that the Armorer could become a villain, which would be...
the Armorer?
Yeah, because, she's definitely against that kind of main Mandalorian creed. And then the rest of the episode, they go on an adventure to get weapons from an Imperial ship. And it's super cool to see the Mandalorians in action, fighting stormtroopers, doing cool maneuvers. Yeah, so much fun. But I think, we get a look in from Moff Gideon. He's on a hologram. But I think the biggest thing that everyone will think, and, big spoilers, but Bo-Katan tells the Mandalorian that Ahsoka Tano, my favourite Star Wars character, incredible. She is on a forest planet, I can't remember the name, but she's on there, and it seems like he's going to go and find her now, which is just so cool. I'm so excited. Watch the Clone Wars, because you're going to need it for a couple of episodes' time. I don't think it will... We'll talk about that later, but yeah, and then he leaves... and also, Bo-Katan wants the Darksaber, which is the weapon that Moff Gideon had at the end of Season 1. In Rebels, she had the Darksaber, and she ruled Mandalore for a time. So clearly Moff Gideon has stolen it from her, and she can use it to reunite the Mandalorians and retake Mandalore. Maybe the show is going to eventually build to that, and the final season will be them reclaiming Mandalore. Who knows?
Yeah.
Even though Din says it's cursed. So as someone who hasn't seen Rebels or the Clone Wars, what did you think about all this?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed everything about it. Even though in the past I have watched the Clone Wars, but not fully in its entirety. I watched it on Cartoon Network.
Yes.
And yeah, there was a lot of Mandalorians that I saw on the TV show.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, exactly. I knew where she came from. So yeah, and also there was great sequences in the film, in the TV. Sorry, and then the cutest moments was like when the frog lady and the frog man and the child was like holding the baby of the frog.
Yes.
Oh, that was cute.
It was.
Anyway,
I agree.
Yeah, it was great action sequences, and it was like trying to build up the anticipation of next week's episode.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought that was like one of the best episodes.
I agree. I think that I don't think next episode is going to be Ahsoka, because next episode is directed by Carl Weathers, who plays Grief Karga in the show, whereas the episode afterwards is directed by Dave Filoni and written by Dave Filoni. And if anyone knows who Dave Filoni is, he's the director of the Clone Wars, he's the director of Rebels, he is responsible for most of Ahsoka's content, aside from the stuff that happened with books and George Lucas's involvement. So yeah, I think it would make sense.
Yeah, it would.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, I would say, people, if you haven't watched Clone Wars and Rebels, you've got about 2 weeks to do that. There's a lot of episodes, but I would say there's only about, like 60 that you actually have to watch of the Clone Wars. You should watch all of Rebels because it's not an anthology series, but there are only about 60 episodes of the Clone Wars I think you should watch. And actually, as we speak, John, I've literally just emailed you. There it goes. I've just emailed you a list of the episodes that you should watch, like the essential episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. You emailed it to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'll be start watching that this week.
Yes, you should. So what do you think's going to happen in the next episode? Because I don't think it's going to go straight into Ahsoka.
Well, everyone just what do you think that Ahsoka's not going to be in it? But
no.
Maybe she will be like at the end of the episode.
Yeah, maybe like right at the end. That would be an amazing cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And what's mad is that next week we'll be halfway through the season already.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we're gonna do 2 episodes, and then episode chapter 13 will be when they meet Ahsoka, and then chapters 14, 15, and 16 will be back with Grief Karga and Cara Dune fighting the Empire, something like that. Because we haven't seen those guys yet from season 1. We haven't seen them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like the final episodes of the season, like last season, will have recurring characters. So yeah, what would you so far in the season? Where would you rank this?
What?
What would you rank this episode? Like, which has been your favourite so far?
A 9 or an 8 out of 10.
All right, yeah, cool. Is this your favourite episode so far in the season?
Yeah, because I feel that there was more things to unfold here.
I agree.
Because, like what you said about Darksaber, about these characters from the Clone Wars and Rebels, and also to build up the anticipation of the characters that we love and we know from these old series, and does it build up in the books as well?
Kind of. Not really. There's only been one Ahsoka book, and Bo-Katan hasn't been in any of the books because they, generally they want to leave that stuff for the TV shows because, it's Dave Filoni's characters and stuff, so they want to let him deal with them. But yeah, I agree. I think this is my favourite episode of the season, either this one or episode 1, so chapter 8 and 9, because that episode was still brilliant. I really enjoyed that one. So yeah, so I think it's fair to say that's some of the best Star Wars content. But now let's talk about our main segment. Definitely some of the worst Star Wars content that ever exists. I
have no idea what happened. I watched it and then it just like 10 minutes have passed, but it felt like an hour.
Yeah, right? So we watched the original Star Wars Holiday Special. This is from 1978, I want to say. My golly, it was just dreadful. It was just...
It felt like a fever dream or something.
Oh, it really was. So, I don't even know where to start. You start.
Geez,
Go
okay.
on.
So... right. There's a funny story that I couldn't stop laughing. Right, I'll show you to you now. I'm sending it to you now to Instagram. It's this bit that made me laugh so hard. It's like the worst tactic ever. But it's like when Han Solo got to the house, and then they're trying to get the stormtrooper, try to defeat him or something, and then when Han Solo trying to get the gun, but he didn't. But then it kind of he went flying.
Oh, he just went off the thing. Brilliant. I remember that.
Oh, I think I sent it to you. I sent it to you now.
Let's have a look.
Oh my god, I can't stop laughing. But anyway, yeah, let's get to the characters. Alright. So
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm gonna start off with the most annoying character was Lumpy.
Oh my god, Lumpy. So, for those of you who don't know, this pretty much, like, is literally just 3 Wookiees watching TV. Pretty much. That's basically what this is.
Learning cooking things.
So there is
weird 4 arms.
Yeah, so this is Chewbacca's family. He's got his dad, Itchy, his wife, Marla, and his son, Lumpy, who, might I add, are all canon. So these people all exist in canon. Yes, the holiday special isn't canon, but the characters are canon. And the Wookiee Life Day, which is like the Wookiee equivalent of Christmas, is also canon. So yes. And Lumpy is this tiny little shitface who's like he's a tiny little Wookiee, and the half of the holiday special is him just going. It's honestly so annoying. Like, it doesn't. It's very it's extremely frustrating. You know.
Yeah, I couldn't concentrate because I had to skip some not too many, but like seconds away from him when he was in 1 second or 2 seconds.
You know what? I don't blame you. I watched it in 2 times speed. After the first 20 minutes, I was like, I can't do this, and I just sped it up and I watched it.
I did.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I did the same thing.
Oh, great minds think alike.
Great minds do think alike. It was just honestly.
Oh, yeah, okay. So then, okay, so
we'll start at the beginning. So so it's Han Solo and Chewbacca going to Kashyyyk, the Wookiee homeworld.
And then they're trying to get away from the Empire.
They're trying to get away from the Empire. Can I point out, they recycle shots from Episode 4. Like, all the shots of them flying are just from Episode 4.
Yeah,
it's redonkulous, and Harrison Ford, poor guy. No wonder he wanted them to kill him off in Episode 5 and 6. They made him do bloomin' the holiday special, and he really tries, you know.
Yeah, he tries so much. But look, the other actors and everyone, like Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, they tried their best.
They really did. And can we talk about the opening? The opening credits. They do like a jazzy Star Wars version with this narrator.
Why does it look like a rip-off version of it?
It really does, and there's this narrator who's like, the Star Wars Holiday Special, starring. It's like starring Mark Hamill, and then it shows Luke Skywalker laughing. It's so stupid, man. It literally takes all credibility. I can't even remember what happens next.
Okay, so then we get introduced by these characters.
Yes, we go to Kashyyyk and we get introduced to Itchy, Marla, and Lumpy.
And then
my guys.
I can't even remember what happened next.
They watched.
So they were just getting ready for the holiday.
They watch a lot of TV. They watch a lot of TV. There are dancers. There are these weird cooking shows. There's this one actor who is in
there was this weird singing part.
Oh yeah, man! And they're all singing there's a band.
And then there was a not a trooper. The one of those big hats thing. I forgot the name. Sorry.
Yeah, an Imperial technician who goes to a store, and the guy's
Yeah,
like,
and
"Hey, you want a pocket aquarium? This is an aquarium that you can fit in his pocket." And it's like, I don't want that. No one wants that.
No. But okay, the most coolest part about this holiday special was the cartoon, though.
I mean, you could sure. It was that was okay. So this is actually the very first like Star Wars media to have Boba Fett in it. And you have this story where like Luke, 3PO, and R2 go to help Han and Chewie, who are stranded on this island, and there's this thing that makes all humans fall asleep. And Boba Fett helps them, and then there's a twist that oh my god, John, there's a twist! He's a bounty hunter!
Oh no! Morty!
Morty!
Go, Morty!
Yeah, and then, like, it's so stupid, like, they find out who he is, and then he just slowly backs out of the room and flies away.
And he just flies away.
It's like, he has a gun on them, he could just shoot them all.
But then he goes, bye-bye. So.
Yeah, it's very, very weird. It's actually...
And it's confusing. It's confusing.
It is confusing.
And then what happened?
Well, I just want to say about the cartoon. You know the pulse rifle from the Mandalorian?
Yes.
This is actually where it came from. Boba Fett's gun in the cartoon is where they got the inspiration for the pulse rifle. And they improved upon it. Like, oh my god.
They did. It
was horrible. No,
the way for the Boba Fett to smacks like the beast with its gun, just like
yeah, he's like riding this kind of like pink dragon, and he like hits it, and it's so weird.
What? And then they were like, "Oh, units, stay inside! Like something about to happen."
Yes, they have this weird like Imperial transmission. What? Well, let's talk about the cantina. They go back to the Mos Eisley cantina, and there's
that woman serving drinks.
Yeah, there's a bartender, and there's a guy with a hole in his head who wants to like give her a flower because he's in love with her, and then she pours water into his head, or like a drink, some kind of drink, and then she sings a song to her customers.
What?
Like what? What the hell?
Wait, what?
She sings like this song about them being friends.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? It was.
I think so.
It was very weird, and it's like because they use pretty much all the same creatures from Episode 4, but they used like dead ones too. Like they used Ponda Baba even though he shouldn't have an arm and he should be dead. They used Greedo even though Han Solo shot him. Like they don't know what they're doing, and it really shows. Like there's barely a narrative in here.
Yeah.
Like,
and then there was a Rebel Alliance person who was with the Wookiee with Chewbacca's family.
Yeah, there was the guy who runs the shop.
Yeah, and then what? And he's a shopkeeper on the planet. But this.
And he does this stupid like code where he says like, "Oh, you want your walking carpet? Well, let me tell you, it's coming." And the person who made it used their hands to make it. You could say they used their hands solo. It's like how does the Imperial who's standing right behind him not understand what he's on about? It's like the Han Solo. It's like, are you kidding me?
What is the writing?
The writing is atrocious.
And then, right, so then, we'll get to the bits later, but there's one bit, the one that I showed you, the clip.
Yes.
So, the way they tried to get through Chewbacca's house is that they decided to do it in the most non-lethal way ever.
Yeah. Lumpy manages to create some sort of like radio beacon which calls the it calls the Imperials away. This tiny little Wookiee, who is an idiot, like who is terrified, who keeps on hiding behind his mum when his granddad growls at him.
Wait, wasn't Lumpy watching the cartoon?
Yeah, he was. Literally, halfway through this Imperial occupation, he starts watching a cartoon. Like, what?
Wait, what?
That's like if like Nazis came into your house and you were just like, oh, I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this video of the people you're looking for. Yeah, definitely.
Like,
I'm not associated then.
It's like Inglorious, when Nazis come to your house, and then you're watching like the Inglorious film, and like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
I gotta watch this video.
It'd be like in Jojo Rabbit if when they came to his house, he was just like, he was just talking to the girl there. It would just be, it'd be so stupid.
But, oh my god. And then, right, so let's talk about the other characters. So, we've got Itchy, we've got Lumpy, and then we've got Chewbacca's wife.
Marla, yeah.
They all terrified me.
It's weird because Chewbacca, clearly they use the same suit as they use in the film, and he looks good. He looks like Chewbacca. He looks like how Chewbacca should. But the others look so scary.
Like the Grinch film.
Oh, they do. It's true. They look like the Grinch.
They're like the most horrifying way ever. But then, if you look at the other variations of like the other Wookiees, like Chewbacca, they look normal like him. You know, like different sizes and different things, like what I saw from Fallen Order, maybe, I don't know.
Yes, right, yeah, I know what you mean. Like, they just look so weird, like, it's really weird to have, like, a totally, like, a white furred, like, grey white fur, like, a Wookiee. That's just really strange. And then there's the whole, like, Lumpy is just, he's not just terrifying, he's not just annoying, he's just pointless. Like, it's crazy that this little Wookiee manages to fool the Empire.
He just goes, hey,
They tried to warn us about the Ewoks in the holiday special, because like,
they were trying to,
because he pretty much, he fools the Empire, and like, and then in episode 6, the Empire gets literally defeated by the Ewoks, which are essentially just loads of different Lumpies. I wonder, because originally George Lucas wanted episode 6 to be on Kashyyyk instead of Endor, and have it be Wookiees instead of Ewoks. I wonder whether they didn't do that because of the holiday special.
Yeah. I see what you mean, yeah.
Maybe they were like, oh no, we can't.
We can't because of the holiday special that everyone looked at. Oh no, everyone's gonna be crap.
Yeah, well, there's like, there keeps on being like, they have like adverts on the TV as well. Like, they have this whole sequence where the Imperials, they also look at the TV. They also watch the TV for a bit. It's like, what is this? What are you doing?
This isn't justice. This is like some democracy or something.
This isn't no dictatorship. Oh, it was just insane. And the ending, my God.
Wait, so the ending of it. So after when so before Imperial 1444, are you still alive? And then the shopkeeper goes, he went missing. He just committed. The stormtrooper just committed suicide.
It's honestly,
because he didn't know. Like, he tried to get the gun, but then the gun.
It's so stupid. And like, the ending ends with them doing like this Life Day ritual. They put all their orbs together, and then they manifest in this other plane where they're all wearing red cloaks.
Yeah.
Which is so weird. And they're walking through space. And then Han, Leia, and Luke join them. And,
and then,
oh my God, Leia starts to sing, and it is so very awkward. It's ridiculous.
No, okay, so let's go through the other singing and dancing routine. Why were they there? Like, the chess thing. What was the chess thing? They were dancing. Why were they there?
They literally, they had so much, like, wacky stuff, but then they, like, did, like, this really weird, like, emotional scene where the Imperials ripped off, the head of one of, Lumpy's stuffed animals. It was a stuffed bantha. And it's like, why are you suddenly being really, like, emotional? This is trash. What are you doing? Like, what's your plan here?
They whipped the head with a bantha.
And the song that Carrie Fisher sings, song that Leia sings, is literally the Star Wars theme with words. It's like what are we doing? What's the plan here? And Luke and Han just stand here really, really awkwardly. Just like, I am so uncomfortable right now.
I can tell Harrison Ford from that scene at the end. He was like, "I'm requesting him."
Oh yeah, how much? I wonder how much they got paid for that, because like, no amount of money. To quote Han Solo,
right, so
no reward is worth this.
Right, so this is a TV special.
Yes, it wasn't released.
If you think about this, so in the 70s, TV was like on the rise.
Yes.
Wasn't it? Like,
yeah.
You get lots of TV in the 70s and 80s, and they seen it as like quite revolutionary because, you know, like different stuff that's going to happen on the tiny screen. So I think they were going to get like maybe a few, I'm not sure, like a few 100,000 maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what their plan was either. Like, they had toys that tied into this. Like, you could get like a Boba Fett and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, and also at the start they had this weird promotion. Was like, did see like the automation something?
Yes, they were like, oh, the Star Wars Holiday Special sponsored by this thing, and it's like, what? This is Star Wars. Star Wars isn't sponsored. Well, I mean, it is now because Disney, am I right?
Yeah, like automation
good
things
stuff.
like, giving transport to people, and I'm like, but this is Star Wars. You don't need transport.
What are you doing? And they have Darth Vader in one scene where it's
like Earl Jones was like that.
Yes, James Earl Jones for one scene where it's literally just a scene from episode 4.
Yeah,
like,
I knew that was somewhere.
What are we doing here, guys? Are we like and they redub it and it looks so weird. And like,
and also at the beginning they were showing like Incredible Hulk and Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah. That was a commercial saying, no, Incredible Hulk isn't gonna air tonight. Instead, we're getting the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Which they made a mistake.
They did. Now, this isn't where the Star Wars TV movies ended. Oh no, there are actually 2 more. 2 Ewok films called Caravan of Courage and The Battle for Endor.
Okay.
And I
remember these.
Right.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I haven't seen them, but assuming that, you know, the general consensus is true, they're just as bad, if not worse, than the holiday special.
Yeah, I remember these. I've heard the... Yeah, that kind of something in my memories. I heard about that somewhere, but... Is it on YouTube?
Oh, probably. Maybe one day we'll come back and we'll be like when a new Star Wars thing comes out, we'll come back and we'll be it's time.
I feel like in a future podcast episode that we got to do like a live reaction thing.
Oh yes, do a commentary.
That makes the things a lot bit better. So if anyone would like to hear about that, just say that in the comments. And
throw us a comment and tell us.
If you have seen the holiday special, please comment down what your thoughts were.
Yeah, if you thought the holiday special was good, why?
Why? Why? There's nothing good about it.
No,
Apart
really
from,
not.
Like the true actors like Carrie Fisher, you got Harrison Ford, you got Mark Hamill. These are great actors in a very terrible TV special.
In a really terrible special. It's honestly like just so ugh. So the Lego special is also going to be about Life Day. I wonder
if they're going to make a reference.
Yeah, I wonder whether we'll see Lumpy back.
Oh, if they bring Lumpy back, I am definitely gonna be raging.
Well, maybe this is going to be Lumpy 30 years later because it's set after episode 9. So maybe it's Lumpy as an adult. You want to see Lumpy as an adult, John?
No.
No.
We'll be deeper and going.
Yeah. Oh man, the most annoying Wookiee.
Rate the holiday special.
Oh, that's not fair. I can't rate that. It's too good. 11 out of 10. Would watch again.
Wow!
Yay!
Really?
No, I'd give it like a 1 out of 10. Like, what can you say? What positives can you give? Like, nothing.
Imagine someone just said like, "Oh yeah, dancing's so great."
The dancing was just top notch.
Yeah, might as well like.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, you know this. Oh my! This is a scene that I forgot. Do you know the scene where the rebel gives Itchy like the porn simulator?
Sorry.
Where the rebel gives Itchy the porn simulator.
Oh.
Where he puts it on, and that woman's like, "Am I your perfect woman? Yes, I am." And then she starts singing, and he gets all excited.
Wow, this is too weird.
It's so weird. Let's move on.
Yeah. So again, what were your thoughts were in the comments? Please.
Yeah.
Maybe through this horrendous TV special.
Yeah, let us know. It was
nonsensical things just that happened on that screen.
Yeah, it was dreadful. Let's talk about.
And we can give those who skipped it at 2 times speed because it's pain.
Yeah, we also skipped it at 2 times speed, so like, don't worry about it. In fact, I would recommend you skip it at 2 times speed. Like, there's nothing good about this thing. It's honestly
special apart from the cooking scene.
Oh my god, the cooking scene. The like. Marla is trying to like do what the person in the video is trying to do, but then the person has like more arms and goes like wish map mish whip. It's like, what is happening? Am I alive right now?
I have no idea what just happened. They were like
mental.
Trying to eat the soup, but then it was like no.
It's so weird. Like,
oh my god.
I don't even know how George Lucas let that happen, but I guess he did, and I guess it happened. Let's move on. Let's talk about the weekly viewing segment. What have you watched this week?
Segment of the wonderful. What we've been watching this week.
Me?
Yeah, I've watched something. What do you watch?
I watched Auntie Donna's Big Ol' House of Fun, which is a comedy series on Netflix. Now, if people don't know Auntie Donna, they are YouTubers who make comedy sketches. I hear they're really good, and loads of YouTubers that I watch, have been promoting this show. And so I watched it, and it was hilarious. It's just 6 episodes of these 3 guys just kind of like just dicking about and doing these really funny wacky sketches that really get like super reflective at times, and it's on Netflix. 6 episodes which are all about 20 minutes each. There are celebrity cameos and don't expect like anything really deep or like even like a proper narrative. It's just plain, just like laughs for the sake of laughs. It's hilarious. I really enjoyed that one. What have you watched?
I've watched a very weird comedy, Borat, a subsequent film.
Oh right, yes, Borat 2.
Yeah, so it is funny, but it was like it's very different from the originals that that people watched like in 2000s or something. So Borat 2 follows up on the story of Borat and trying to expose on America, like expose America.
Yes.
And he this is quite insane. He dressed as a KKK member in the
Really?
rally.
That's weird.
Yeah, and then he got away with it.
Oh.
Yeah, no one stopped him.
That's very, very odd, I must say.
So, but then he got into toilets and he dressed as Donald Trump and no one stopped him.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and then they had this weird daughter called I forgot her name, but so they exposed everything in this film, and it's crazy of how he did it. But it is a comedy, but it's quite good. But I would just give it a 7 out of 10 or 6.
Yeah, I get you.
It was quite funny, but there was some stuff that that was a bit really awkward and a bit out of touch.
Yes.
But yeah, it was quite funny. Yeah, it's on Prime. I kind of recommend it for comedy fans, but yeah, if you're too weirded out by things, you might not want to watch this.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That was all I watched this week. Did you watch anything else?
What else did I? Oh yeah, I watched this really good film in film studies called Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Yes.
Yes, I absolutely adore this film. It's a film that you go on a journey like you never been before, and it's like a really exciting but also deep at the same time. Like, it's very different, like from if you watch them from a different age perspective or something like that. Because it kind of reminded me there was a film that I watched when I was younger. And it's also a book as well. Like, there's like monsters on this island or something. No, there was a boy gets lost.
Where the wild things are.
A boy gets lost, and then he finds monsters on this island.
Where the wild things are.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a film about that.
Oh yeah, I love that book.
It kind of felt like that in the Beast of the Southern Wilds.
Right.
But without like huge monster things. But so yeah, it was just like a really good film that I enjoyed. But interestingly, a lot of people didn't like it in my class. Interesting.
Yeah, I watched that as well for film studies last year, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it is a very, very good. The cinematography is on point, by the way. The way that they've done it is great.
Yeah.
Especially opening. The opening was like a great start to the film.
Yeah, the music is like just insane.
The music is just so beautiful. Like, you can listen to it for days and days, and there's like really incredible sad moments in the film.
Yeah.
But it's also a bit sad happy for the character called Hush Puppy. Weird name for a daughter, but for a woman.
There's loads of good stuff about gender and age in that film.
Yeah, but also I recommend it for film lovers and yeah, it is a quite deep film, and you don't need like a lot of intellectual points for it, but like big brain time. But yeah, so I give this a 10 out of 10. So yeah,
it is a great one.
Yeah, that's it for my viewing segment.
Yeah, and that's it for the pod this week. No emails again. So, if you do want to get in touch with us, we're at outertimefilmpod@gmail.com. outertimefilmpod on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Tom the Boardman on Twitter.
Yes, and I am ComedyJohn42 on Twitter.
Yeah, so just, like, any opinions on anything that we've discussed, do be sure to, let us know. Or just any questions, anything that you want to see, we're here for it. I have a feeling that the lovely email segment is gonna, take take a break while people aren't really giving us much to say, but that's fine. People are busy, you know. Yeah, next week we'll be talking about Mandalorian Chapter 12, the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, and then, you know, we'll be covering the news and all that.
So thank you for listening our podcast. Today's been a really weird podcast.
It has been. It's been, like, if you don't know what we're talking about with the holiday special, none of it's going to make sense. We're just kind of, like, ranting.
Watched this week, so, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for tuning in. Anything else you want to say, Tom?
Stay safe, as always.
Please be safe. Wash your hands, wear a mask. But luckily, things are looking up. At the moment.
Well, I mean, are they? A couple of days ago, there was the biggest 24-hour rise in cases in England.
Yeah.
So, things are looking up, and they're also looking down. They're looking straight ahead. They're very, very depressed.
It's balanced now, isn't it?
Balance, yes. Balance in the force. They must be indeed. Without further ado, take what you're given.
Give nothing back.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.